So this is the Eastern Regional, the US Aeropress Championship 2015. It's a bracket style tournament in which baristas are throwing down against each other, producing the best cup of coffee with an AeroPress they can in 8 minutes. There's 3 judges, they have cupping spoons, they're tasting each coffee. They do it, they're professionals, they've all got great palates, and they're picking the one they think is best. Often the focus is more on the coffee that's being used. This device really rewards people who have a clever way of using the device.
So the AeroPress is great because you can do almost anything with it. You can do a 1-minute brew, you can do a 5-minute brew. Everything is basically based on your steep time, your grind size, stuff like that. So you can really do crazy stuff with an AeroPress that you won't think will work that ends up tasting great. It's really just anybody's game. It's a blind tasting, so you don't know who brewed what coffee. So the judges are completely in the dark, which is kind of fun.
So yeah, my name's KEYWOOD. I work for VINT Coffee here in Louisville, and I use a natural processed Ethiopia Sidamu. My approach, I used a really fine grind, and I used an inverted method, but a lower temperature to kind of keep the astringency and the brightness out, and to really make it has a really nice dark chocolate and berry swirl to it, I guess. And I think the lower temperature with the fine grind kind of brought that out nicely. Yeah, I'm really excited to take part. This is my first ever competition like this, so I had a blast.
So I used Ruby Coffee's Kenya Gachatha, I believe that's what it's called, and I have a recipe that's a little unconventional. I used about, it's 18.5 grams of coffee. I poured 80 grams of water over that at 107 degrees, and I let that sit for 2 minutes 45 seconds. And I kind of let a lot of that low end kind of build up, and then after that, I flipped it over, and I poured 150 grams of 200 degree water on there. I like the approach that the temperature comes down to. And then, yeah, plunge it out. It gets a lot of the highs because of the quick blast of hot air, or the hot water, and then also not a lot of lows, and it kind of bypasses a lot of murky mid.
Okay, so I'm Dmitriy from Williamsburg, Virginia, and I use the Madcap Barana coffee, which is an Ethiopian coffee. My approach was to use the non-inverted method, and instead of covering the top, I let the coffee drip through for about 3 minutes. So it slowly dripped through the AeroPress before I finally pressed it all down.
I'm Chris Heiniger, and today in the Eastern Regional AeroPress competition, I used an Ethiopia Kocheri Zone Gadio. This coffee I bought from Sweet Maria's, and I roasted myself on my hot top. I used a super light roast. I dropped it at 401 degrees, which is on the very bottom end of what a lot of people would consider to be fully roasted. My brew used a 9.5 to 1 ratio, 22 grams of coffee, 200 milliliters, and a long steep at 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right. Okay. Third place, all the way from Toledo, Ohio, Brian Beyke. Before I announce the winner, I just want to point out both of our finalists are home baristas. They don't work for a coffee company. They don't get paid to make coffee. And you know, if you're standing here and you're wondering, man, I wonder if that could be me next year. You know, pick up an AeroPress from Prima, start practicing, and who knows? Yeah. Second place, Williamsburg, Virginia. Dmitriy, congratulations. You know, the AeroPress has a cult following. It's such a fascinating device. What I love about it is, you know, Alan Adler invented it because he just wanted to make a single cup of coffee for himself. But his original recipe, how he originally designed it to be used, actually very few baristas end up using it that way. The best thing about the AeroPress is that it's so functional, so flexible, really the sky's the limit for what the barista can do with this brewing device, and that's what this competition proved. You know, I think the best thing about the AeroPress competition, it's not that it's not serious. All of these competitors worked hard, they prepared carefully. All of them did extensive home brewing sessions, practice sessions, trying to figure out what the best cup of coffee they can make was. With that being said, there's a real sense of camaraderie with this competition, and you're seeing baristas from all over the coast hang out together. They're chatting, they're swapping coffees, they're getting to know each other, and really that's what this competition is all about.